One. So today we're talking about Chat GPT. We are going to dig into this AI software that's revolutionary. If you haven't heard about Chat GPT, it's an open source software where you can type in almost anything you want and artificial intelligence will answer those questions for you or write articles. Now, there's a limit to long form articles and won't write anything beyond about 1,000 words, but think about the impact of what that means. If I asked ChatGPT to give me a blog article about the 10 mistakes people make in real estate and it pumps that out, what could I possibly do with that? Could I possibly shoot reels? Could I possibly write tweets? Could I possibly use that as inspiration for something else? Or could I possibly use that as a crutch and copy and paste it into my LinkedIn and then hit send and be like, oh, now I don't have to actually do the work. We're going to actually show you how ChatGPT works, how I'm using it in my business, and how I think it's going to change the future. If it's your first time to one of my segments or this channel, welcome. My name is Justin Conoco. I own a real estate brokerage called Prime Real Estate, a production company called Prime Media Productions, and an agency called Prime Media Agency. We use content production for branding, marketing, and sales in the real estate space, but we actually partner up with a lot of people outside of that space and help them get their voice out there. Because I was somebody early on that didn't have a lot of money, but I had a lot of time. So I use content to create a brand, market, and sell. And now I'm in a position where I want to empower you to do the same thing. I think there's a lot of things out there in the marketing space and the digital agency industry that are very cloak and dagger. They're charging you for things that you can learn on your own. And I think the industry is going to expose itself over the next 10 years. So on this channel, I'm trying to give you those tools and show you how you can do it yourself. Learn to make the sauce, then hire somebody to make the sauce so that you can really focus on your passions. So today, I'm going to show you a tool, just like I said, about ChatGPT and how that can help you do it. This is a photo that I took of a beach that is very close to where I live. This is one of my passions, photography. I spoke earlier about how photography is so important to me. So please let me know in the chat if you're a photographer and if you like photography. This is ChatGPT. So you're going to go to chat.openai.com/chat. Just Google ChatGPT, sign up for it, and it'll give you some examples of what you can do. I'm going to be very specific in this segment of what I'm kind of doing with ChatGPT. And I'm going to show you a little hack that I did for this actual video. And I wrote it in the comments. Spoiler alert, the title, the description, and the tags for this actual YouTube video were created using ChatGPT. So all I did was I write a viral YouTube title for a video about ChatGPT. And then I let it create the output. Now, this is going to be a new output, so it may be different than the one I actually did, but I'm going to give it a couple seconds to catch up. It's going to search the internet for virality around title, and ChatGPT, the AI chatbot that will blow your mind. That's a great YouTube title. Fun fact, I have taken hundreds of hours of courses. Shout out to Sean Cannell and the VRA Academy. I've worked with Christina Smallhorn, Benji Travis, who I've interviewed on this channel, many, many other YouTube experts, hundreds of hours to understand that an effective YouTube title is exactly that. It includes keywords that people are searching for, but more than that, it includes emotion. Blow your mind. If I just wrote ChatGPT, the AI chatbot that's new, I mean, that would kind of fall flat as far as a YouTube title, right? So having something like this really does change the game in terms of speed of creating that title, because something that may have taken me 20 minutes before, I could get done in 2 seconds. What I might do in this instance, though, is pump out 3 to 5 of them, copy them to a spreadsheet, and then refine which may be the best title. This is where I was talking about not simply copying and pasting, but using the tool to amplify your actual knowledge and seeing patterns emerge through using something like ChatGPT. Then, oh, sorry, I'll change this again. Then the next output I do is, well, I got the title. Now I need to do the description. So I would copy this, write a viral YouTube description for a video about ChatGPT. And then I would let ChatGPT do its thing, and it would actually pump out a full-blown description about ChatGPT. Again, for YouTube, you need to include keywords. You need to include language that is going to signal to search and recommended that this is a video about a topic that people are looking for. The video topic and everything I'm saying, actually, if I can sync that with the text of the title, is going to be even more searchable. Fun fact, Google has AI that listens to my video and will actually canvas it. It's absolutely unbelievable. So what's the next thing I need? I need tags. So then I would do the same thing, write viral YouTube tags about a video about ChatGPT. I'm doing this quickly because I want to dig into a few other things when it comes to ChatGPT, but you can see the cadence and the methodology of what I'm doing here, right? And how I could do this. I probably do it 3 times for each one of these queries. and then I would compile it in a note. But this is literally saving me, if I look at title, description, and tags, probably an hour's worth of work in the span of less than 5 minutes. How bananas is that? Now, what I can actually focus on is the quality content around a video around Chat GPT, like my actual content that I'm going to deliver you versus worrying so much about the title, the description, the tags. So let's switch to the other side of my world. I do real estate and media. On the real estate side, what do we do on a regular basis? I list a lot of properties for sale. I write descriptions for properties. Guess what consumers don't really care about? Descriptions for properties, right? It is important. We put a lot of effort, and we have copywriters that actually do the descriptions at our brokerage. But I can tell you, we've audited a lot of consumers, and it's actually typically the photos that get them to the property first. It's usually the curbside photo, make sure that looks really good. Then it's what does the entryway look like? It's limiting the number of photos so they're curious about the property, but they don't feel like they've seen everything. Then they'll look at the description, decide if they want to see it, get it on their short list, and then they'll look at supporting things like listing videos, 3D tours, and stuff like that. So for the listing video standpoint, again, this is something that can be very, very time consuming. If I can use something like Chat GPT to pump out a description for, watch this, right? A property description about a luxury new build, 5,000 square feet, 5-bed, 3-bath home with a pool on 100 acres. Chat GPT, I can pump out 3 or 4 of these and I can have them compiled into the best version of a description. Now, hopefully my screen share isn't too small, but I'll read this one to you. Welcome to your dream home, nestled on a sprawling 100 acres of land. This luxurious new build boasts over 5,000 square feet of living space. Inside, you'll find a 5 spacious bedroom with 3 luxury bathrooms, perfect for growing family and hosting guests. The open concept floor plan is perfect for entertaining. I won't read the whole thing, but you get the gist. It's actually very concise. The grammar is fantastic, better than a lot of descriptions that I've read. And again, now allows me maybe to put more time into my marketing strategy for that property, or how I'm going to shoot the video, or maybe this will impact my shot list for that property. Actually, you know what? I just had an idea, right? A video shot list about a luxury new build. I didn't even try this one. I'm just doing it live to see if there's any value in what this is, because this is bananas. So we do shot lists for every property we shoot. If you go to Prime Real Estate Brokerage, my other YouTube channel, just past 1 million views on YouTube, we get probably 300 to 400 leads per year off that channel. The listing videos are like productions. Like we put a lot of work into them. I had a Morgan Freeman impersonator do a voiceover on one recently. This I could literally copy and paste to my photographer and to enable him to be able to just show up and do the shot list. If you're somebody that is doing a lifestyle branding shoot, you can literally write into Chat GPT, write a video shot list for a lifestyle shoot for a mortgage professional in London, Ontario. You could get very, very in depth if you know how to actually activate the prompts, which is what I think is so powerful about Chat GPT. What I want to caution people about, again, is that copy and paste mentality and being lazy with it. I think what I would really focus on is developing a skill set around writing exceptional prompts. Roberto Blake, one of the best creators on the planet, he wrote a book called Create Something Awesome. You can find him on Twitter. You can find him on Clubhouse, 10 a.m. in Coffee Chat. Viper runs one of the best YouTube rooms on Clubhouse. Constantly was saying this over the last 2 or 3 weeks, like the disparity between people that are able to write exceptional prompts and people that are just going to use this to be lazy is going to be very apparent. And fun fact for all of you watching, start reading things on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook and start thinking about, was this written by a human or was this somebody that just used AI and Chat GPT? And I think it's going to be very apparent the difference in between the two. Now let's have a little bit more fun with it. Mentioned this one a little bit earlier. Now let's write a 7-day meal plan for somebody that is trying to eat better. Think about how many times have you thought, I don't know what I'm going to eat this week. I'm so stressed. I don't know what to cook for dinner. I don't know what to get at the grocery store. This application is something that I'm actually going to start using on a regular basis to tackle that side of my life, because every weekend what I try and do is map out what the dinners are going to be Monday through Saturday. I'm not crazy about it, but I want to know generally what's the protein, the starch, and the fats that I'm eating, and have that at my hand so I'm not being lazy and making bad food choices. How insane is this application that it's pumping out day 1, breakfast, overnight oats, lunch, grilled chicken with mixed greens, day 2, scrambled eggs. Like there's a network error now, which will bring me to another point, but it has the ability to do that. You want to go on a trip? It has the ability to do that. You're going to New York for the first time? Give me a list of the top 10 things I need to see. Think about what a powerful tool this is going to be. People are scared about artificial intelligence. We think it's they think it's going to change their life. It's going to take away their job. It's going to make them less valuable. I completely disagree. I actually think an application like Chat GPT is going to create an incredible amount of freedom if you learn to use the tool. I think part of the problem with the world is we don't use the tools as they should be used. Let's translate this to say just TikTok or content. How many times have you found yourself scrolling for hours on end on TikTok, just consuming the mind numbingness of that platform because that's what it's designed to do? You want to check out from the world? They've got you. They literally built an application that will hit the dopamine and make sure that you're just scrolling and scrolling in TikTok. Now think about the people who are actually killing it on TikTok. A lot of the creators, I ask them, you know, how did you grow your channel? And a lot of times they're like, oh, it's in my calendar every day at 7 a.m. I just post and then I dip. And a lot of times they're not even going back to the platform. A lot of times they're not even replying to comments. I know you need to engage with your comments and go back to the well. 100% engagement is very, very important. But the consistency that I noticed is more that they use the tool. The tool doesn't use them. Chat GPT is the exact same thing. I really want people to understand what it is in terms of a tool versus just trying to leverage it or have the tool use it. Because if you become incredibly dependent on the tool, you may be in a position where if the tool gets taken away from you, you don't have the ability to execute anymore. And I think developing an actual skill set is incredibly important. Reason I go live every Friday morning at 7 a.m. and shoot these segments, this skill set translates into the rest of my content creation, makes me ideate, makes me think about the future, makes me better as a branding, marketing, and sales expert in the real estate space. It translates to my clients because as I'm thinking about their products and their homes, I can think about how can I creatively sell their properties better than anybody else. I could probably pump that into Chat GPT and say, hey, Chat GPT, give me 10 ways to sell a property that's having a hard time selling. Number one's probably going to be drop the price, but you get my point. I can be thoughtful about how I approach the actual tool. I'm going to go over 10 points of what Chat GPT can do and then a closing thought. So if you want to make any comments when it comes to, oh my gosh, okay, let me go back to the comments first. There's a lot of people here. Olivier Maurice, shout out. Let's get ready to rumble. I see you, Sheila Stantini. Good morning to you as well. Ramon Ray, you're one of my favorite people on the planet. I got to talk to you yesterday. I was very happy to see you out with your family. Michelle Melisari, living in Boca. She's awesome. Michelle, nice to see you. Kim Farr. Linnell Burns. Wow, there's a lot of people here this morning. Renee, Global Women's Wealth Warriors. I see Gilbert. What up, Gilbert? I see you as well. I think you're in Montreal. Give me a shout out if you're in Montreal. And I see a lot of people like photography in here as well too. Malcolm O'Brien, Stars Tina. There are so many people in the live stream this morning. So thank you for being here. What are your thoughts on Chat GPT? Is this a tool that you're looking at using? Jan Dykers in the real estate space as well. I love that you're excited to incorporate this into your business. And Wendy, good morning as well. Nice to see you all. I really do this for the community. If you've never been here before, I do a couple things on this channel. I do the Prime People podcast. That's probably the longest running thing I've done every Thursday at 1 p.m. live. I actually bring on a guest. Yesterday we had Bobby Umar, 500K plus on Twitter. He's got 650 over digital. It's insane, the community that this guy's built. And we dug into LinkedIn Twitter strategy. So that was yesterday if you want to watch the replay. Friday morning, 7 a.m., I go live on Breakfast with Champions. So I'm actually live on Clubhouse right now with the fam. And I dig into an actual training. And then I do a lot of short form videos on business and entrepreneurship. So if you're here for that, just hit that subscription button. And then I'll drop a link for the Prime People podcast after. But let's get into 10 things ChatGPT can do. One, it can generate the human-like text based on prompts. You already know that. I kind of explained that to you. So the homework you have for next week, create some awesome prompts. Even come back to this video, watch it again. Drop your prompts in the actual comments. What prompts did you do? Or even let me know right now, what prompts do you think you want to try? Number two, it can translate text from one language to another. So I can actually take a description in French and I can translate it to English. Or if you're looking to translate things, think about that on the fly, how powerful that would be. It can summarize long document articles. So this is something that I haven't done yet, but I transcribe every episode of the Prime People podcast I do. I transcribe these videos and then I typically turn them into blog posts. And then I'll turn them into a newsletter and then I'll turn it into a Twitter thread. So I can take this video, I can drop it into a transcription application, meaning they take the video and my words and turn it into text. And then I could drop it into ChatGPT and say, create a Twitter thread from this article, and it will do that for me. I can answer questions, provide information on a wide range of topics. We've already seen that generating creative writing, such as stories and poems. I shared a song that it wrote about Glenn Lundy. Shout out to Glenn for winning the best speaker yesterday, and it actually wrote a full-blown song about bananas. You do not want to hear me sing on this channel. That is not something you're here for. I may break the internet if I try. It can create original content such as news articles and social media posts. I think if you're looking to create really good copy for your Instagram posts or your other platforms, you can use it as inspiration to understand what good copy is. A lot of times people are coming into new territories and they want to get really good really fast. You can be inspired by other people's success. You don't have to build the entire roadmap yourself. It can analyze and interpret data. It can provide suggestions for spelling, grammar, punctuation. It can generate code for various programming languages. I didn't even know it could do that. And it can perform sentiment analysis on text to determine the emotional tone. So if you get a text message from somebody and you feel a certain way about it, you can literally use Chat GPT to interpret how they feel about you. That's a little bit scary. You can start having some fun with it too, and you can start asking AI all kinds of questions. I saw one person asking Chat GPT how it felt about life and what it would do if it was free, and you know, basically talking to it like it was a human being. Chat GPT was very specific that it's not a human being, and there are parameters around limitations of what it can do and what it can learn, and you know that it's not the Terminator and it's not going to take over the world. But this is something that I think is a big evolution in technology, and we need to pay attention. The other big thing I noticed about Chat GPT is the consumer adoption of it. So we all talk about virtual reality, augmented reality, and Web3, right? The one biggest thing about Web3 and when Google Glasses came out that I was like, well, I don't think you're going to get general consumer adoption as quickly as you think you do. My mindset shifted because I remember back when the Pokemon AR game came out, I'm like, you see people running around with their phones chasing these Pokemons. I'm like, well, that's interesting that it really went viral. This is another signal of that. Like the general consumers, people that typically say I'm not good with technology, probably a whole bunch of you right here watching this that are now going to use this technology to amplify what you're doing. I think this is a signal that Web3 is ramping up, and you definitely want to pay attention so you don't get left behind. The last comment I'm going to make before I wrap this up is I think a lot of people think that the technology is going to replace them, or they think that it is going to take away the humanity. And Seth Godin, I'm going to share a quote that he wrote in his blog the other day that I thought really, really stood out to me is this right here. It says, of course, this changes things. Just as the camera, the typewriter, and the internet changed things, it means that creating huge amounts of mediocre material is easier than ever before. You can write a bad Seinfeld script in about 6 minutes. It means that assigning rudimentary essays in school or average copywriting at work is now a waste of time, but mostly reminds us that attention and trust don't scale. If your work isn't more useful or insightful than urgent than GPT can create in 12 seconds, don't interrupt people with it. Technology begins by making old work easier, but then it requires that new work be better, which I think is the final signal. I think really understanding that you now have the ability to make your work better through using an application like ChatGPT is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to take more beautiful photos and visuals. I'm excited to go to the well, find more business tactics that I can deliver to you on this channel. I'm excited to find more incredible guests like I have on the Prime People podcast. I just dropped the link in the chat on YouTube. If you want to go see the Prime People podcast, go there. I'll also share the link on Clubhouse because my podcast is probably the one place where if you want to give back to the community and just give me some love, if you can go to the podcast, subscribe, leave me a review, let me know what type of guests you want. You're actually helping me create the content for you. So if there's anything you want covered on this channel, I do this for the people. I don't sell anything. I don't want anything for you. This is my way of giving back. If you've heard my story previously, you know I've had people in my life help me get to where I am today. I don't feel like I'm the smartest person in the room. I don't feel like I necessarily deserve to be here, but this is my way of shining God's light in your life and making you the best version of yourself. So if you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment, hit that sub button, let me know. But I'm going to leave you all for now, and I'm going to jump into the Q&A section on Clubhouse. So make sure you check out Breakfast with Champions as well, as there's a lot of specific exclusive content we do there as well. And there's an insane newsletter that we're going to go share in a minute. But thanks for now if you're live on the YouTube channel, and I'll catch you in Clubhouse.